Gayatri Mahamantra with your back straight. Om Bhurabhuvah Swaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat. Invocation of the Divine Master, Adiguru Muni Vedvyas. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Deva Maheshwara, Guru Deva Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah, Akhanda Mandalakaram, Vyaptam Yena Characharam, Tatpadam Darshitam Yena, Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah. Om Shri Guruve Namah. Vyasarupena avahayami, sthapayami, dhyayami, pujayami, tato namaskaram karomi. Shrimed Bhagavad Gita, chapter number 9, verse number 16. This verse, this shloka, in particular, bears a beatitude about the understanding of Vedanta Darshan brought before the commoners. Commoners, who are the commoners and who are the special ones? There is no special one as such, but when I term commoner means people who have not evolved to the extent that they have started connecting or able to comprehend something which is non-objectifying. The intangible things without form and name. They are the commoners who need some help in some tangible form or with a name they can ascribe in order to connect and comprehend. And this all goes for whom? It all goes for the all-pervasive, that great, almighty, unmanifest, with it all of its powers. So when a problem comes as a commoner, now you understand the difference between a commoner and the one who can connect with the non-objectifying truth. This is the only difference that distinguishes between the both. Here, in this particular verse of Shrimed Bhagavad Gita, one of the esoteric aspect of Upanishads has been brought to facilitate in such a way that one can connect with it through the divine presence of Lord Krishna. Lord Krishna here represents the Almighty, the all-pervasive one, in the most tangible form, with a human countenance like you and me. Lord Krishna is there available, just right beside us, within us, around us, all over. And in order to explain this all-over aspect, Adiguru Muni Vedvyas has brought in a special mention of the Yajna. Yajna is the basis of this entire creation. It has been very well elaborated under the Karam Yoga. Yajna is the source to the manifestation of anything and everything in the gross or the subtle or even at the causal ends. So Yajna is the source for entirety that transpires around us. Here, therefore, the Yajna has been chosen in order to convey about the all-pervasive, the Almighty, the only one. In other words, the Advait. The Advait is the non-dual. The non-dual aspect, the all-pervasive aspect, has been expressed through an illustration of Yajna. How do we perform a Yajna? All those connected with the understanding of ancient Indian wisdom very well understand what is Yajna. In yajna, we have a procedure to conduct a yajna. And for the procedure, what all has to be arranged, that is mentioned. What all mantras shall be chanted, that is also mentioned. Then one would sit down for the yajna with the yajna kund. Yajna kund too has got its own prescription, but we'll not get into the details of that. So in a yajna-shala, the one who has to conduct the yajna is present. Before him are all the source of fuel, and for the combustion we have the clarified butter, that is the ghee. Then we have certain herbs as samagri, fuel, that is the wood, samidha, and all that I mentioned a while ago. And through that, we start performing a yajna. And yajna is performed in order to cherish some kind of an objective. Generally, it is an outward objective seeking some kind of a desire to be fructified. Vedanta has got no room for the desires to be fructified. Vedas have two parts, the former being known as Veda Purva and the latter is Veda Antaha. Upanishads are the part of the Veda Antaha. This particular learning corresponds to Veda Anta, but it has been explained by taking an illustration into account from Veda Purva. As I said, for the commoners who cannot connect at present with the non-objectifying. So therefore, yajna has been chosen for them in order to explain them about the non-dual aspect, about the pervasiveness of the Almighty. So, through the yajna, Lord Krishna mentions before the timeless Arjuna, look Arjuna, you are there in the yajna. I am the entire procedure of the yajna. I am the procedure of the yajna. I am the fire of the yajna. I am the fuel of the yajna. I am the source of combustion to the yajna. I am the oblations of the yajna. I am everything. Whatever is being commenced at a yajna, that is me and nothing else, none else. Now, when you start contemplating upon that, then you realize that through yajna, which is the source of anything and everything to manifest, life within or life without, outward. Everything is nothing else but it and it alone. What is it? Keshav. Krishna is it over here. By taking name of each and everything, the anna, the food that has to be offered as an offering during yajna, that too is me, Arjuna. All those herbs that you're going to offer to the fire as an oblation, that too is me. The mantra that you're going to chant is me. Procedure you're going to follow is me. So nothing left. The entirety is me and me alone and nothing else at all. So when you start contemplating what is left, nothing is left. It means that the pervasiveness of the Almighty of Krishna is everywhere. If I have to find a place in this cosmos or the creation where I can mark the absenteeism of Krishna, then I shall find no place. Because it has to be there, only then alone can something come into its existence. Yes, in a way, this verse also concludes by saying that unless it is there, nothing can ever exist, even in the tangible form. Yes, it alone exists. To sum it up, it alone exists and nothing else exists. What is the purpose of this particular sloka that it wants to serve? The purpose it wants to serve is, number one, to connect the non-objectifying Almighty with all those items I'm using the word, items, that have a tangible presence around me. When I want to seek to fructify any of my desire, all that I deploy is not merely a list which I have gathered and I've procured items which I have to now utilize through that procedure of yajna. And they themselves are going to accomplish whatever I seek. No. Bereft of that higher consciousness, the material in its own capacity is not capacitated to cherish our desires. That higher consciousness has to be taken into account. And that is why Krishna has brought in itself into everything with its all-pervasiveness, so that we become a pure devout. All of our efforts, all of our acts, in them the devotion is morphed. It morphs into each and everything that we dispense. Devotion in thought, deed, action, whether it is the list that we have accumulated, it's everywhere. Devotion has to be everywhere. If I'm offering certain herbs to the fire, that fire too is Keshava, and the herbs I'm going to now offer to the fire as an oblation, those herbs too are Keshava. See where the devotion is going to take you now, to the highest levels of your awareness. The fire you're offering to is Krishna. The herbs that you're offering is Krishna. The mantra that you're chanting is Krishna. The wood that is burning there in the fuel, as a fuel, is Krishna. The ghee that you are going to pour the clarified butter in order to enable the combustion happen is again Krishna. So what is left other than Krishna? Nothing. With Krishna at heart and Krishna in hand and Krishna affront, there is nothing left. So all pervasiveness now acquires a tangible aspect as well. In Upanishads, they do not have room to accommodate the tangible aspects for the non-tangible one. It is pure. It is absolutely raw as it is. Whereas Bhagavad Gita facilitates for a common mind who has not yet evolved to connect with the non-objectifying, to connect and find its presence all over into anything and everything that one is trying to accomplish. This verse has a beatitude, not only facilitating for the highest esoteric understanding of Vedanta to a common person who has not yet evolved to that extent, but also to trigger the devotion of the highest order for all dispensation of one's life. Yajna has been simply picked up as an illustration, but yajna does not mean that it is only going to be commenced when you sit in front of a yajna kund with fire, with clarified butter, herbs, etc. No, it's not like that. The yajna is accomplished through each and every act that we perform. That is yajna. There is nothing outside yajna. Even all these elements, the elements of sky, air, fire, water, earth, each and everything is totally immersed into yajna, unconditional offerings. They are complying to the mandate of the Creator and performing yajna relentlessly. That is what is taught in Karma Yoga. Each and every breath that we intake and exhale is also a yajna. That also is a yajna. The food that you consume is a yajna. So there is nothing out of the envelope of the yagna. Everything is enveloped with the yagna. That is why it has got its own existence. So yajna has been picked up as an illustration for one to stretch its understanding to each and everything that one performs, and find that there has to be devotion in everything that I act upon. You are right in your understanding. When we are listening the scriptures, we get highly connected with them. And those moments we experience these exalted aspects within us. But the moment we are away from the listening of scriptures, we get engaged into our outward normal life. So what happens is that yes, we become oblivion to this kind of an exalted understanding, and then immersed into our outward acts, indulged into our impulsive conducts, we go on moving, at times mindfully and at times unmindfully. But let it whatever be. But these kind of opportunities, when we come across scriptures, we get a chance to again soak our own understanding, dip it deep within the knowledge, the esoteric knowledge of the scriptures, and come out of that carrying with us an impact that will certainly remain, maybe even in its decimated form, to govern and rule and determine the moments when we are into decision making. It is not that, however indulged in your life you may remain, that you shall be bereft of this understanding of scriptures. The understanding may not be there in its own elaboration, but it is going to be a guiding factor during those crucial moments of your decision making. Let us now come down to the words of the shloka as they are there before you. Aham kratuhu aham yagyah swada aham aushadam mantra aham ev ajyam aham agnihi aham hutam. This I-ness has been overemphasized merely to bring the pervasiveness, the all-pervasiveness of Lord Krishna. I am the ritual. I am the yagna. I am the anna. Anna is the food that is offered in the yagna. I am the vegetation. I am the mantra. I am the clarified butter. I am the fire. I am the oblation. This brings us to the understanding of this verse. I repeated number of times with anything and everything in this verse. I is there. I is there for the pervasiveness, that nothing exists beyond me. It is me, Arjuna. If you find me everywhere, then obviously wherever and whatever you're handling shall become my own personification. You will find me flowing into it. You will find me enshrined over there. So your sincerity of the highest order shall come outward and exhibit through your even mundane acts, something that you do not hold with some prominence shall be dispensed with highest order of devotion. So Arjuna, take then into account my all-pervasiveness and remember, it is me and me alone. These are the words of Keshava as a divine intuit expressed through the scripture by Adi Guru Muni Ved Vyasa. enough justice has been done to the interpretation of especially the Sanskrit words by Adiguru Shankaracharya, to whom we owe our entirety of the understanding. Had it not been there by him, merely confining to the dictionaries of Sanskrit would not have given us the rightful understanding that these words deserve. So paying the highest obedience to him as well, this was for the class of this day. ओम ही सत्य है, ओम ही सत्य है, ओम ही सत्य है.